Hey y'all, what's up? So y'all seen Lil Herb as we Chicagoans know him as, but you newcomers know him as G Herbo. So we see G Herbo in the media circus right now trending because his new, I don't know if it's platinum, I'm gonna just say it's platinum because it's gonna go platinum if it ain't already platinum. His new song, Went Legit, is platinum. A lot of his interviews that he doing, a lot of people are bringing up, you know, his relationship issues because a lot of his media coverage over the years of his career has focused heavily on his relationship with Ari, which is his first baby mom, and his relationship with Taina, which is his current girlfriend and second baby mom, right? So a lot of people, they look at Taina, you knew her was with Ari, yet you chose to still date him. So, you know, a lot of people don't like Taina because of that, and they feel like Taina be playing this innocent role. Ari says she likes to throw rocks and hide her hands, so a lot of people be feeling like, you know, she likes to play victim, but it's like, nah, you knew. So let me just start off by saying, I've always had empathy for Taina and their situation. And it's like, I understand why people look at Taina as the villain in this situation, because as a woman, you know how it feels to be cheated on or have your heart broken or be played with, and you don't want that to happen to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want that to happen to you, and if it did happen to you, you didn't like it. So you see another woman going through that and you like, nah, fuck that bitch, right? This is gonna be a controversial take. I've always had empathy for Taina. I've always been, if there's teams to pick, I've always been team Taina. I'll tell you why. See, a lot of people don't realize how complicated situations can be. People always look at things as it's so black and white, like it's right or wrong. And in a lot of situations in life, especially when it comes to matters of the heart and love, ooh, the sun just shined on me. Especially when it comes to matters of the heart and love, it's not that simple. But yeah, I've always had empathy for her because I went through something similar with me and my man. So from the outside looking in, it looked like, okay, Herb cheated on Ari with Taina, right? So it's easy to blame Taina because, and people be blaming Herb too, but they mainly blame Taina because they like, nah, you knew he was with Ari, whop the bam. Like, it's always easier to blame the other woman, right? In situations when a girl catches her man cheating on her, she never rarely gets mad at the guy. Like, she'll get mad at him, but she'll stay with him. She'll want to beat the other girl ass, you know what I'm saying? Whether the girl knew or not. But a lot of people just genuinely don't know, and it's because they probably never been in that situation. But a lot of people just genuinely don't realize how layered situations like that can be and how messy they can really get, because that's really what it is. It's messy. From the outside looking in, it looked like Herb cheated on Ari with Taina and moved on. They had a whole family. And in my situation, like, I kind of went through something similar. When I first started dating my man, he was still living with his BM, and he wasn't really honest with me about that in the beginning. Obviously, I started putting two and two together. I started asking more questions. Stuff started not adding up, you know what I'm saying? You know, after a while, you can't hide something like that. But, and he's admitted to me now like he was wrong or whatever. But the reason why I say it's not that black and white is because, for one, like I said, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened with Ari and Taina and her. Like, I don't know these people in real life the same way y'all don't know. I know exactly the same amount of information that y'all know, which is what he talks about, what they talk about in their media circuit, and what we see online. You don't really know these people for real. Well, first of all, we started talking, and it was real casual. We hadn't even linked up yet. We talked a little bit for months, but it was real casual, whatever. And then when we finally did link up, I mean, sparks was flying. Like, it was, let's just say it got deep real quick, real fast. So in the beginning, you know, he wasn't honest with me about what his situation was. Like, he didn't tell me he was living with his BM or nothing like that. And I asked about her, but he said, nah, you know, they cool, they co-parent, they ain't together. You know what I'm saying? He never told me that they were still living together. Fast forward, we've been doing our thing a couple months now, and she messaged me like, you know, we still live together, we still together, we walk the bam, this, and the third. I go to him, he telling me, nah, we ain't together, but yeah, we do live together, we walk the bam, woo. You know, eventually I removed myself from the situation because it's like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go figure that out, right? But like I said, shit just don't be that simple. Shit just don't be that black and white. And it's always three sides to a story, right? It's his side, it's her side, and then somewhere down the middle is the truth. So he telling me, yeah, we co-parenting. Yeah, I didn't tell you, I wasn't being honest with you from jump. I really wasn't telling you the whole truth. Yes, we do live together, but we not together. We ain't really been together like that in a long time. Like, I'm still just kind of in a situation, but I want to be with you, you who I want type shit. And I can feel that, and I know what he's saying is genuine. I know what he's saying is true, but I also know the reality of the situation is like, okay, whether you want to be with me or not, whether what you're telling me is true or not, you still live with another woman who has your child. And me as a woman, I can't be complicit in something like that because, for one, socially it's not acceptable, but two, I just can't subject myself to a situation that I don't deserve, right? I really did try to leave him alone for a little while, like, you know. But when you love somebody, in love with somebody, and they're in love with you, and y'all in love with each other, you can't stay away from them. No matter how hard you try, y'all are gonna be drawn back to each other. It's so easy to sit and judge somebody and be like, well, why she didn't just walk away once she knew and him and Ari was together or whatever, walked the band. By that point, it was probably too late. They was probably already too deep in. They probably was already too invested into each other. They probably was already in love. So what, we supposed to just pretend like we not in love? y'all think it's so easy for people to just walk away from a situation when they in love with somebody. It's not. And the truth is, sometimes love happens and the timing don't be right. Sometimes situations happen for people and it's in a messy, chaotic situation. And that's just really the reality of it. And he has admitted, you know, he was wrong. The same way Herb has said openly in interviews that he admitted he was wrong. And I can't speak for Herb, Ari, Taina. Once again, I don't know these people in real life, but I could assume and I could imagine that he probably felt the same way my man felt. Like, yeah, this my BM. I care for her. I love her. I got a child with her, but I'm in love with this woman. You know what I'm saying? This is who I really want to be with, and I'm physically in this situation, but emotionally I'm not in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally I'm over here, but physically I'm over here. So it's like, how do you navigate a situation like that? You know what I'm saying? There is no right or wrong way to do it. There's a better way to do it, and I feel like in our situation, in hindsight, me looking back now, it would have been smarter and wiser for us to just kind of separate until he had fully closed that chapter and wasn't living with her, then moved on. Same way Herb could have did better, where he could have ended things with Ari before he jumped into a new relationship with Taina. But people think it's like intentional or it's calculated or something, like, you know, the other woman, quote unquote, is being malicious and being shiesty, or you just went and took that girl man. Like, no, like, first of all, we met, y'all situation wasn't solid, you know what I'm saying? No offense, but y'all situation was y'all situation. We met in the midst of y'all situation and we fell in love, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. It don't make it right, but it don't make the other person wrong either. And it's, for the people that's gonna feel me, they gonna feel me. For the people that ain't, y'all ain't gonna feel me. And it's not for everybody to get. It's not for everybody to understand, overstand, and understand. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not gonna get it, but for the people that get it, they gonna get it. We don't know what was being told to Taina at this time. Like, all I know is, like, in my situation, he was telling me, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We still live together, but we're not together. Things is over with between us. It's just complicated right now. And even though I knew that that was messy and that's not something I should have been involved in, I couldn't just leave this man alone because I loved him. You know what I'm saying? And people could call me stupid, goofy, dumb. I'm probably all of the above, but guess what? I was in love. We still in love, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people underestimate, the power of love, the pull of love. Love is the one thing that transcends time. Love is the one thing that you can feel instantly. It's not something that you choose. It's something that chooses you. And then when you care about somebody and you see their situation, and we all saw Ari and her situation. Once again, we don't know these people in real life, but we saw their relationship was kind of toxic. And I know with his situation, like, it wasn't the most healthy. So it's like, you see somebody in a situation like that and you know what y'all got, and what y'all got is real, it's pure, it's true, it's deep. All I can say is, I get it. That's why this whole time, over the years, that everybody be dragging Taina, I be the main one, like, nah, I get it. I understand Taina. I'll never forget one time, you know, me and my man, his BM, she can't stand me. To this day, she can't stand me. Probably gonna watch this video too. More than likely gonna message me talking about, don't be bringing her up online or whatever. But I ain't never said nobody's names in this situation. If y'all know, y'all know. But for the people who don't know me in real life, for the people who just watching this YouTube, who probably never watched any of my videos, you don't know anybody that I'm talking about besides Taina and her. Them the only people, and Ari. Them the only people I name by name. I just have to put that disclaimer out there. I'll never forget this time that I had took his BM to court because she was harassing me. Like, it had got real messy, real bad at one. Like, she was threatening me, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was just mad. Obviously, he was moving on with me, and she still wanted to be with him. Probably still do. You know, I get it. Like, as a woman, they had been together for a long time. They got a child together, so I get it. I was in love, you know what I'm saying, before who I'm with now, and I was heartbroken when we broke up. You know what I'm saying? It was devastating. You know, and I have to move on because I'm not gonna chase nobody. I'm not gonna beg nobody to be with me, and I don't know what it's like to have a child with somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no children yet. First and foremost, I'm not claiming to know what it's like to be left by a man and you got their child. Or I don't know what it's like to be Ari, where not only did the man you got a child with leave you when you was suffering from postpartum, but then left you for another woman that he was cheating on you with, and then started a new family with her. Oh. And I've been heartbroken before, but never on that level. So I get why Ari was, you know, mad, and I get why she was acting the way she was acting in the beginning when he was with Taina, because she was mad and she was hurt and she probably still wasn't over him. I'll never forget, I had took her to court because she was harassing me, threatening me, and at one point she even pulled a gun out on me. It's crazy. But anyway, I took her to court to get an order of protection, which is basically like a restraining order. I remember the judge, basically when you go in there, you tell them what's going on, you present the evidence. So I presented all the evidence, all the screenshots and everything that she had been sending me. And I was like explaining my side of the story. Now, I was kind of doing what Taina was doing. I was like, well, I ain't know, you know what I'm saying, that they had what they had going on, told me they wasn't together, da, 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 da. So the judge was like, you know, I'm sick of seeing women coming in here acting holier than thou with their noses in the air, wanting to play victim and whop the bam. And I remember looking at the bitch like, the fuck? Like, and she was like, this woman has a whole child with this man, and me looking at these messages that she sent, you knew about her, blah blah blah. So I'm just low-key looking like mad, because it's like, yeah, on one end, of course I knew about her, I knew he has a child, I knew he has a baby mama, but I didn't know, as he was telling me that they wasn't together. He was telling me they just lived together. To this day, he said that's true, like we wasn't together, we was just living together. It's just a complicated situation. So when I'm telling the judge, like, you know, I didn't know about what they had going on at first, because I didn't. But it's like, if I say, well, I did know he had a baby mama, but I didn't know what their situation was, then it'll look like I'm the bad guy, like I'm complicit in this. But then if I admit, oh, well, I didn't know what was going on, now I look like I'm trying to play innocent, and like I'm trying to play victim, and I look like I'm being disingenuous. So it's like, it's a lose-lose situation. I get that's probably what's happened with Taina. Like, yeah, I'm sure she knew about Ari. So when she's saying like, oh, I didn't know, it make her look like she lying, like she flogging, like, bitch, you knew him and Ari was together. Like, of course everybody knew about Ari and her. But when she's saying she didn't know, she probably saying like, I ain't know they was together because he was telling me they wasn't together. But she don't probably want to put his business out there and make him look bad. And then she probably don't want to make herself look worse, like by saying, well, yeah, I knew about her, but you know, he said they weren't together, because then she gonna look like a homewrecker regardless. That's why I say, like, I feel for her, because it's hard being in that situation. So when the judge said that about me, you know, I kind of stung, because it was like, I wasn't trying to act like I was holier than thou. I wasn't trying to act like I was better. And maybe I could have been a little bit more honest, but I feel like if I was honest, then I still would have been looked at as the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I really said and presented the information in the best way that I could, but it probably came off the way people be feeling like Taina come off, like she trying to play this innocent role. And it wasn't like I was trying to play a role, like I'm telling you the truth. Now, if I tell you the whole truth, then it looks bad on my part, right? It's a lose-lose regardless. The reason why I'm making this video is because this whole situation that has been playing out for years, as we've been seeing it unravel. I love the way Ari and Taina have been able to put stuff aside, at least for the media purposes. We don't know what's going on in real life, but to us on the media, it look like they cool and they get along. And I think that a lot of people agree with me, like that's the way it should be after a while. Like, we a family now. You have children with him, I have a child with him. It is what it is. We gotta learn to get along. I'm not saying that baby mamas gotta be best friends, but at least be cool, you know what I'm saying, to the point where everybody can be in one place and be cool for the children's sake. And I just feel like society doesn't hold grace for women in this situation. Taina in this situation, or in my situation, like we always get looked at like we the homewrecker, or like we coming in and taking somebody man from somebody, when it's like y'all don't be knowing the full situation. Sometimes relationships just don't work out, and they haven't been working for a long time, and then somebody meets somebody new, fall in love, and move on, but they still kind of tethered physically or financially to a situation, so they can't just walk away and leave. Okay, emotionally I'm not here, but physically I'm still here, financially I'm still invested into this situation. So it don't be so easy to just, you know, all right, see it, sayonara, because people do that, and then now y'all calling the dude a deadbeat, or now y'all calling him you know what I'm saying, ain't shit ass nigga. Like, but basically I'm saying women just don't get grace in these situations. The other women always get looked at as the other woman or the home wrecker. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying he perfect. I'm not saying Ari and Herb and Taina, I'm not saying neither one of them perfect. Everybody in that situation made mistakes, just like in my situation, we all made mistakes. I could have removed myself from a situation that still had some loose ends to tie up. He could have been more honest with me from the jump about what the situation was. He could have been more honest with her about what he had going on with me. She could have been less, you know, harassing. Same with Ari. Ari could have been a little bit more civil with the situation instead of putting all of their information and they stuff on blast, causing all of this drama on media. Like the way she was acting when they first started dating, she could have chilled out. Taina probably could have not dated somebody so soon with a fresh baby, and she even said that in the cooking video that they did earlier this year. She like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't date somebody with a child super young. I wouldn't date somebody with a child under 2. Like, so she learned from that too. So everybody learned from the situation, and Herb even admitted like, okay, yeah, I was wrong. That's no excuse. Me and Taina met, we fell in love. Woo woo, that was wrong of me. I shouldn't have cheated. That's no excuse. So everybody learned from the situation and grew from it. All I'm saying is, we all human beings, and when love is involved, emotions are involved, people don't always make the best decisions, and sometimes people make mistakes, especially when it comes to love, because like I said, it's easy to judge Taina and be like, she a homewrecker, she knew Ari, da 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 da, y'all, and it's easy to be down for Ari, because it's like a lot of baby mamas can see themselves in Ari, like, oh, you know, my baby daddy left me too, or my baby daddy did this to me, so of course they team Ari, you know what I'm saying, because they relate to her. But a lot of people don't relate to the Tainas or the Tainas of the world, and they not gonna speak up about it, because we always look like the bad woman, like, you know what I'm saying. But in reality, it's like, we can't help that we fell in love with this man and he already had a situation over there. The man in a situation definitely has to be more, you know, lead as a man, but men have to grow to get to that point. And it's not a black and white, easy cut clear solution. It's not no handbook that say, okay, you have a baby with somebody and you don't want to be with them, and then you found somebody that you do want to be with, this is how you do it. People learn as they grow. But that's all I gotta say about it. Obviously, who am I? I don't know these people. These people don't know me. I'm just a girl who had a similar situation. I can have empathy for both sides. Like, I got empathy for Ari. That's tough. It's tough being with somebody that you're in love with and you got a child with, and then y'all having issues, and that man leave you for another woman and then start another family with that other woman while you got a fresh baby and you having, postpartum. That's tough. No woman should have to experience that. But then also get, Taina, like, should she be penalized because she fell in love with him and he fell in love with her in the midst of that situation? Yeah, it could have been better timing. You can't help who you love. At the end of the day, these are two people that love each other, that found each other in a chaotic time. And it just happened to be bad timing, and it don't make it right. It's no excuse for it. But it don't make her a bad person. It don't make him a bad person. He's a person who made mistakes. She's a woman who made mistakes. Everybody made mistakes in a situation, and they all could have done better. And that's just what it is. So everybody that want to judge Taina and talk about her and make her seem like she the bad guy. Like, first of all, once again, we do not know these people. We don't know the situation. And if Ari and Taina can move on and be cool, then y'all should be cool. But y'all want to be, that could never be me. Like, that's better. Like, Ari moved on. She got a new man. I feel like the only people that's saying that is the people who still obviously want to be with their ex or their baby daddy or whatever the case may be. That's the only time a woman is not going to be cool with a man, new girl, is if you still want him. Because if you don't want him, you don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this video, like, follow, subscribe, all of that. But yeah, peace out.